This reality, unlike what everyone has grown to accept, is a lie. Everything around us is just a bunch of trashy code. Oof. Oof. You dissing the Dan Salvato, dude? Nothing here is even alive in the slightest. Our lives, our homes, everything we know, it's all pre-written by some freak looking for entertainment through torturing us. Hey guys, Kaderi Ghost here, and welcome back to Doki Lost Ascension. So, I snapped myself out of my thoughts as something I hadn't thought about crosses my mind. They're all going to be sentient like I am. Would they all remember what I did to them? Or over all of those playthroughs, English. I swallowed nervously as Sayori released my hand. She gave me a sweet smile which didn't do much to recover my confidence. I only had today to tell them about what had been happening. This was my chance to make it right. Okay everyone, I have something a bit different in store today for our club meeting. Monika went up to her usual spot at the podium, with a finger raised and a smirk across her lips like normal. Everything is going so well today. This morning, the club, it's all perfect. And Monika, it was so nice of her to take the time to wake me up for the meeting. I'm going to have to thank her for that. I feel a little bad about making her stop whatever she was doing before, but she doesn't seem to mind at all. I shook my head a little, turning my attention back to Monika, anticipating whatever she had to say. As I watched her intently, she began to address everybody in the room. I have something... She trailed off, clearly lost in her thoughts. My smile wavers a moment, noting some unhappy emotion in her expression. Was it sadness, fear, confusion, anger? I internally began to spiral, hundreds of worst-case scenarios filling my head as the gears kept turning. Was Monika having a rain cloud? Okay. She seemed alright earlier, but now, she's not acting like her normal self at all. Monika's whole demeanor shifted as she sat down near her podium and looked at us. A solemn expression was present on her face, affecting the mood of the already silent room. I'm sure you've all started to notice some weird things going on today. People missing, strange emotions. Everyone seemed to freeze up as she said this, an uneasy feeling taking a hold of the room. How would she know about stuff like this? Was I that obvious? The spiraling continued out of my control. Was I smiling too much? Was I too happy? Was it because I dragged her down the hallway, had her spend time with me? I needed to explain something that won't make a lot of sense until you experience it firsthand. I just hope you all understand. She stood up and walked over to her podium once more, looking at us for a moment as she collected herself and began to speak. This reality, unlike what everyone has grown to accept, is a lie. Everything around us is just a bunch of trashy code. Oof. Oof. You dissing the Dan Salvato, dude? Nothing here is even alive in the slightest. Our lives, our homes, everything we know, it's all pre-written by some freak looking for entertainment through torturing us. What was that? Why was she speaking so funny? It didn't even sound like she was talking. It was like I felt her speaking. I felt like my very being was being spoken to. Like someone had cracked me open and forced these thoughts into my head, and all I could hear was her voice. But worst of all, it felt like my memories were being forced out of the way to reveal something dark behind it all. My home, my life, my childhood. It was all being torn apart and left behind as my mind focused on the words Doki Literature Club. Whatever just happened, it kept coming, kept pouring. All of it at once, not stopping for even a second. That sounds very wrong, sir. Please watch your mouth. I could feel tears welling up in my eyes as I looked at Monika. She was clutching the podium. Even with what I was now experiencing, it felt like something was missing. A piece of my mind was still blurry, but it was slowly coming out. My thinking was interrupted by a quiet voice speaking from behind me. You're kidding, right? This is some kind of joke, isn't it? Some stupid illusion? Did you really think we would fall for that, Monika? You must think we're complete idiots if you think that a dumb trick like that would work, right guys? She huffed for a moment, however she didn't sound very confident in herself, as even her most defensive statement sounded shaky. I wanted to go and hug her, but decided not to when a second voice spoke up. Monika, keep going please, we're interested. Yuri spoke out with not much hesitation. None of us disagreed with her, and her eagerness to listen shone through brightly. Monika swallowed again as she prepared to speak one more time, feeling a bit more confident in herself. I thought a long time ago that he was here. Ooh, that is an oof. But in reality, he doesn't even care in the slightest. He just assumes we're puppets in a game, to be treated without love and dignity, to be used for his torture. He's hurt me. Ooh. So many times he has done the same thing. Okay. Monika finally stopped speaking, and the feeling of everything faded away. And I watched everyone die, over and over. She looked up with her eyes beginning to flood with tears, her whole body shaking. I couldn't stop him. I couldn't. My heart ached as she started to break down. But she did it. Bruh. My head was spinning around. From the muffled sobbing that was echoing from behind me, I knew nobody was handling this well. I knew I had to act, so I got up and did exactly what I do best. I gave Monika one of my hugs, knowing that she needed it. It's okay, Monika. I know you tried your hardest. I tightened my hug as I tried to comfort her. Her sobs slowly began to pick up more dramatically. Oh, it's so sad. Everything she told us, it felt so familiar, but still so distant. My memory was still hazy, but I was sure I'd remember all of it soon enough. For now, however, Monika needed the club more than ever. Sayori. Wait, is the main character in the room or no? I mean, technically the main character's not the main character. Never mind. She finally hugged me back, her crying beginning to quiet down as she stood, whatever. Okay. After a while, she finally got herself to calm down and slowly detached herself from my grasp. She smiled pitifully as she looked at everyone else. She directed us to go and sit down at a few desks so she could explain things a bit better and offer up a solution to our problem. While I wasn't very excited to have to find out everything she had planned, I knew that she would lead us in the right direction we needed to go. Okay. So we're gonna do all that, are you sure? Natsuki asked loudly as Monika finished speaking. If it were me, I'd honestly give him a long and drawn out. Yuri swatted her on the back of the head. Natsuki looked completely stunned. Let's focus on getting through tomorrow first. We can discuss this later when we aren't so out of touch. She smiled slightly as I scolded her profusely for her slap. Monika laughed a little at the whole interaction. Jerk. Okay. He's not, I don't think he's, I don't know if he's evil, actually. I don't know yet. Okay, I'm not sure. We spent the rest of the club period talking about everything that Monika knew, a serving of tea accompanying our discussions. I couldn't help but wonder what my mind wasn't remembering. I tried to rack my brain about it, but eventually gave up. I just figured that with Monika around, these old memories shouldn't matter that much, right? Yuri and Natsuki were finally opening up. Monika appeared to be extremely happy about that. Whatever she had done and explained to us must have really turned us back into people, I guess. She even mentioned that there were things she had never seen before appear during our breakage, whatever that means. But it was alright. I didn't much care so as long as I had my friends, or I guess my family now to an extent. Especially Monika. She likes Monika, okay? Monika, this is a Psionica mod, okay? That's what this is. Just with how well she was taking care of us and how much she cared about us keeping us safe. I couldn't help but feel loved by her the most. She loved me so much more than that meanie ever did. After ending the club meeting on a high note, we split up to go our separate ways. I still wasn't entirely sure how I would go about this or how I should feel. Well, I can't really lie to myself. I'm genuinely scared of what's gonna happen this week. What are you gonna do? If you do anything to the computer, you die, okay? You are the computer. It feels wrong to think about her plan. But with everything she's told us, it really was the only exception. Or option. I kicked the occasional rock as I made my way home, looking around what was supposed to be my home. Monika had been a bit worried about leaving any of us on our own initially, but she let it go after we assured her we'd be okay. For as confident as she was before, she was she still harbored that fear. However, I couldn't accept that behind the boy that I had been friends with for so long was this monster. Is he really that bad? That just can't be true. My thoughts, oh, they actually changed the icon of Doki Doki. Nice touch, okay? No one does that. My thoughts were sown with the seeds of doubt as I thought about the situation. Maybe he and I could figure things out. I smiled to myself. Yeah, maybe I could convince him. Maybe this whole situation is just... My thoughts suddenly shifted to the mysterious person controlling him. My subconscious stopped me in the middle of the empty street, my thoughts taking hold. If my fake childhood friend was really that mean, then was he just some kind of representation of the guy behind him? Monika has to be right about him then. Or just talk to him. Oh my god. Everything would just be easier if people talked. I shrugged to myself before continuing down the street. I took a moment and stopped at my fence looking over at his house. I've never felt so confused and afraid of someone so close to me before. I looked away from his house before entering my yard. I dropped my bag on the ground and sat down on my front porch. Why is this even happening? I find myself gazing off towards the sky, watching the sun slowly drop into nothingness. My whole life, all of it? Just a big lie? I leaned back on my front door, letting my body relax as I let the cool air flow more freely over my skin. I closed my eyes, trying to formulate how I should feel about this. Shouldn't I be feeling terrible right now? I sat up straight and looked down at my hands. Closing them, I could feel my skin, soft, gentle as I thought. I felt on my shoulders and around my neck, swallowing once. It just feels real, all of it. Have I never felt this before? My frown began to show through, my usual smile fading away. I feel strangely confident about this. I picked up my bag and shifted it on my shoulder a little bit. I don't feel like there's any rain clouds, I just feel confident. Maybe this whole scenario was showing me the way to become better. I smiled as I turned around and went into my house, basking in this newfound feeling. Of confidence? Okay. Not wanting cookies all the time? No, she wants cookies. I dropped my bag at the front door as I started walking to the kitchen. My mind was telling me that food was the #1 priority for this confident Sayori. Ramen, yes. Exactly, classic Sayori. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the episode there. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please smash that like button and also hit the subscribe button to become a ghost. And I will see you next time. Peace.